we did find something. Well, we don't know if we have a finder yet. Toning itself makes me think this is, an oldie. Probably late 40s, but, decent work. It's actually in pretty decent shape hair-wise if you look at that. Whoa. Oh my gosh. Hey, it's Silver Chupacabra with Batman and a fresh box of nickels. It's not like those weird, you want to call those kind of boxes we usually get. This is the one that, you can put a hamster in and it can breathe through the holes in the bottom. Yeah, nothing like those bad boxes we got from the last two hunts that gave us, 9 buffalo nickels and 9 Civil War nickels and a couple of semi-key dates. We wouldn't want any of that to happen, would we? Sorry. Little sarcasm there. Hey, look, it's the Buffalo Nickel collection book, which we have been able to add, I believe, or fill, I should say, 4 holes in the previous 3 boxes, or at least somewhere in that realm. What did we get to fill the last time out? 35S. Did have an upgrader right there. So, plenty of holes to still fill here, and we'd love to do that. But we don't have a sister box here, and we don't have the original box, so gonna have to depend on even more luck, as we usually have. Here is the Jefferson nickel box, starting from 1938 going to 1961. Last time out, we actually filled that last Civil War nickel slot. It's a nice one, by the way. And we got the 3 bad boys to get. Those are all key dates. And you can see the mintages for all of these. This one has always been the last one before filling. So, what have we done the previous, 9, 10 months? We have filled 2 collection books, or we have finished filling 2 collection books, I should say. The 38S has been the last. It'd be nice to actually have one of the other ones be the last for once. But anyway, it's looking good. And you know what? Even though we had 7 of these bad boys, Civil War nickels, the last box, keep them coming. Same thing with the key dates. Same thing with the semi-key dates. We had another 50 Philly off the last box. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. I would have liked to have gotten that one last time, but we did not. So anyway, what are we thinking about here? Well, of course, varieties are always nice. V-nickels. I have not seen a V-nickel, I think, since early November. So that would also be nice to find. I'm not even thinking about a shield nickel. Shield nickels are supposed to be smaller than the regular nickels, just a little bit. But shield nickel is out of the realm of possibilities. What's in here? Well, let's at least look at the enders to get an idea of, hey, do we have anything going on here? Here are the enders. And other than that boisterous opening there, really not much to look at. Nothing of significance. We've had actually quite a few boxes in a row with some pretty good openers. Buffalo nickel was one of them. So was a Civil War nickel in the last one. I see some older looking ones, obverse and reverse, but it's always hard to tell in here. But nothing really just pointing out anything. I think that one's in the 60. It's probably going to be a 64. But other than that, kind of the way it is, this goes. Take a look at this first roll that we're going to open up. That's pretty noobish. So is that. There's a lot of hair detail there. That's going to be 90s or 2000s. But as we've always said, this is not a Loomis roll, so we'll put this together. It's all the goodies are on the inside. And it was for the last two box sets, too. Let's go ahead and start opening her up. Okay, it took us 4 rolls until we've actually got something. So it's been a while already. I'm still living off the fumes with the last 2 box hunts, so I gotta calm down a little bit. It's not always going to be that good. we'll see if I can. We'll see if I can hold my temper. Anyway, 4 rolls in, back end of it. Everything else has been checked out. 1951. Wow, this kind of looks like it's been cleaned. And no, it does not look good clean because it's got a lot of wear to it. 1951, which is very worn. If this would happen to be a San Francisco, it'd be a semi-keyed 8. Yeah. Versus no better, really. And here we are, Philadelphia. And I wouldn't even guess Philadelphia on this either. So our first find is a clean, beat up 1951. Yes, I'm still living off the last 2 rolls, but we're out of it now. We're gonna go on. We're gonna have a decent box hunt. Roll 5 is next. Okay, I'm at the back end of roll 5. Already checked all those out. 1946. It's a very worn 1946. Philly or Denver, I would probably go with on this. Philly it is. So far we've had a couple of Phillies. 2 rolls in a row. We've got something heating up. Hey, roll 7 has been put out here like this. You know, I like looking at rims, and that rim is awfully tasty, folks. It's got that green tinge to it. It cannot be anything else but a silver war nickel. It isn't. That's funnier than crap. That is one big gigantic fail. How dare this nickel do this to me? I deserve that. Okay, it rolled into this nickel box. We'll have our third find. I would say near the beginning. Still got a lot to look at in the roll. This one is toned like in the later 40s, but it is actually a 41. It's a beautiful orangish, kind of a halo around the portrait of Thomas. Do we have a mint mark? We do not. Boy, it's all Philly so far. 1941. Pretty cool. And as you can see, plenty to check out. 10th roll is up. And we're going to have one of these coins that you don't get to see very often in the nickel world. Right here. No, the fields are not blue there. Kind of looks blue on that part. I believe we're going to get a proof nickel. Just had one about 3 or 4 roll or box hunts ago. The fields on this one are a little bit more beat up. Can't tell if that could be cleaned or not. But you can see the estimate mark. It's 1997. I always love the cameos on these. Let's go ahead and take a look at the reverse. Yeah, it's been out there in the circulation for a little bit, that's for sure. But not massively beat up. And as I said, I wonder if just like a little bit of water, hot water, might clean that up a little bit. I don't know. Cool mints. I love finding proof nickels. Don't get to see them very often. We're on the back of Rolls 10 here. Just had a proof, and now we've got a later year 1957. Not sure what that actually means. How about later 50s 1957? Really doesn't sound right either, but anyway. Pretty warm, but it really won't matter. It's going to be a D. You live near a mint, it kind of works that way. That is the fourth find. 10 rolls, that's kind of an average. Haven't really found anything of substance yet, so to speak. I like the proof nickel. That's pretty cool. But silver nickel, buffalo nickel, key date, semi-key date. Nothing in there yet, but we'll keep on hoping. Okay, we are on roll 11 and just kind of started laying it out. I actually looked at this one earlier, and I've seen this before. I'm not quite sure what goes on with coins like this. I mean, I don't see it every time, but I remember in a couple boxes ago, same thing. Just, it just looks like it's, I wouldn't say melted, but something definitely going on there. And I'm not sure if that's a minting process or somebody is doing something. That's not something that you can just wash off. That's the way it is. The reason I saw it earlier is, look at that thing. I think it looks older than the hills with that kind of rounded edge. And, you come to this, and it's in the 2000s, so it's not an old one either. So if anybody out there happens to have somewhat of an idea what's gone on with this coin, I'd love to hear about it. Roll 13 is up to bat. Laid it out somewhere near the back end. It looks like a 59 to me. I don't know what you think, but let's go ahead and check it. And yes, that is a 5, not a 9. Or a 3, excuse me. The 9's a 9. Nice bent up rim, by the way. A couple places. A little dusty. The detail's there, though. I would not be surprised if this actually had no note mark. I think it's in decent enough shape to be a P. Yeah, be a D. There it is, 1959. That is the fifth find. I'm hoping something else comes out of this nice layout here. One thing I would mention real quickly, if you remember me thinking that one coin was a Civil War nickel and it turned out to be, a 64? This is going to be one of those box hunts where the old-looking coins are going to be much newer than you think. I've seen several of them so far. So it's been a little disappointing, but, we'll fight through that. We're still getting fines. That's cool. To roll 21. This has really been very dry. I would say it's kind of the antithesis of what we've seen in the last two box hunts. We are going to get something here, which is nice. Right here, 1954. To be frank, all the finds have been kind of meaning just the conditions. There's a nice ring of death on that one. Probably going to be AD. No, it'll be straight 54. Okie dokie. I believe is fine. Da-da-da. 6. That's where we're at. There's the rest. It's roll 23. He's actually going to bring us our 7th find and oldest Jefferson on this hunt. 1940. Very common. Very common. Nickel. Lots of nickels were made in 40 and 41. And frankly, by all 3 mints. This one's got a little bit of detail in the hair, which could mean nothing here. Philly, Denver, San Francisco, could be any of these. Nice little rim ding on the left-hand side. It will be Philly on this case. 7th find. It's been very, very slow. As I had mentioned earlier, all the ones that really look old, especially by rim, are not. I mean, 16, 50 years of age is old, but you expect a little bit more on some of the, or at least I do. Here's the rest. See if anybody or anything shows up. You're at the back end of roll 24. We're going to have a late 40s coming in here. 1949. Nice. Not as toned as I usually see these late 40s, but pretty decent condition. Definitely wear on the top part of his hair. I can speak English. Philly D, maybe. Another Philly. Lots of Phillies in this one. It's the 8th find. Still definitely below average, but that's 2 rolls in a row. We got something. Let's see what happens in roll 25. 26th roll of this nickel box hunt. And we got ourselves an estimate marked coin right there in the roll. If you remember, 1954 was the last year that an estimate mark was on the back right side of Monticello. So this has to be at least 54 or older. It's always cool to get these. We're getting a lot of Phillies in this one. Not bad condition there either. A lot of Philly coins in this one. And it will be from the 40s. If it's an 8 or a 9, it is a semi-key date. It will be 0, 1940S. Means we need a 1940D for the mint cycle. Cool. Good find. Still have the rest of the roll to check out. Yeah, 28th roll of this Nickelbox search. Definitely past halfway now. Let me get our 10th find. So we did make it a 10. I kind of expected to make it to at least 10 here. Just really aren't finding any finds of consequence. Just regulars. Sometimes that's going to happen. Especially when you get spoiled. Like I have on the last 3 box hunts. 1955 is the date. Decent detail, but yeah. Got some paint on it. A little bit wrecked in some ways. If it was the Philly, it would be a semi-key date, but I'm highly doubting that. And in the ball of paint, you do have a D-mint mark, so no, it is not. Place that right by the 1904. Still a little bit to check out from the roll. So we are on roll 32. This box has been very interesting and odd, I would say. Here is just some finds we've had here. We had a proof nickel. Don't see those very too often in a box hunt. Something going on with this one. I think that's a 2000, by the way, but as you can see, every once in a while I get nickels like that, but that's just very odd. And then it looks pretty gold-plated. Not the best of jobs, but Hear that? Or we had some gold paint. Well, I'm going to call this since we really haven't had, a really great nickel box, we're going to call this the box of oddities, because here we are once again. Let's see if I can keep my camera straight. There we go. Here we are once again with a coin in a nickel box, just a little bit bigger. It should start connecting with everybody. It is not magnetic. It has the ridges there, as you can see. I'm trying to think of what those are called. It has reeds like a quarter or a dime would have. This reminds me of Singapore 20 center, if I remember right. Did we just get another one after never getting one? I would say, yeah, we did. It's got that same fern and whatever plant that is, a flower. I don't know, orchid. I guess as good as mine. Side to side on these. And there it is, Singapore. And I think the last Singapore one was 1987, so it's just a year off. You can see the two lines with the, looks like a flag maybe of Singapore in between. And there it is. I love cool finds. I love cool foreign kinds. It's fun to learn about the coins themselves and a little bit about the history of the countries. Here we are. Well, plenty to check out here. Okay, we are on roll 35. Let's say about midway through. We've got a 1949 popping up. We had one earlier, I believe it was Philly, and I'm thinking, well, it's probably Philly for this too. A lot of wear there. Well, let's go ahead and see. Could be a D2. We'll see how it goes. Yep, Philly it is. It's been a Philly type of hunt, to be honest. Lots of Phillies. Pretty common nickels. So I'm expecting another oddity to pop out, because this has been an oddity hunt, which I like to. 39th roll, and we are still kind of slow, just like I'm talking in slowness. Near the back here, we've got another 1940. This planet camera, I think we only needed one to get to the mint cycle on this. This one is pretty, well, it's messy and it's very worn. Now, I think if it's a D, I do believe it would be the mint cycle. It is not Philly. That is fine, number 12. And I've still got the whole laid out roll to check out. So we are on that last row of 10, roll 41 to be exact. We continue to bring in an old nickel here too. We did find something. Well, we don't know if we have a finder yet. So getting a little ahead of myself. Anyway, we can see the toning on this, and you can see a D mint mark. The toning itself makes me think this is, an oldie. Probably late 40s, but, D mint mark. No, 46, 47, 48. Somewhere in there. It's actually in pretty decent shape hair-wise if you look at that. 19. Whoa. Oh my gosh. It's gonna be a key date, folks. Not even coming close to expecting it in this nickel box because nothing has shown its face. But there's no choice here. There are only two 30s, a 38 or a 39, and we already know it has a D mint mark. It's a key date. What will it be? It's a 39D. And as I did mention, that hair's got quite a good bit of detail on it. Not full. She's got wear there. But a 1938D key date, folks. These don't just walk and say hi to you every day. I can't even speak English here. That is awesome. And I'm going to already tell you, or you should already know this, that's going to fill a hole. Wow. Wow, wow, and wow. 42nd roll has been laid out right after a big time 39D key date. Another 39 has shown up. Wow. I would say, however, since the wear is very large in this one, that will be Philadelphia all the way. But you never know. We certainly didn't. We were wrong about that 39D, by the way. It was not a 46D. And it is a Philly, though. We will check the right leg of the R in pluribus to see if there is a notch, like an indentation, because it could be a Henning counterfeit nickel, but I would say no on that one. But we will wait later. Still have a little bit to check out on the roll. You're on roll 43 of this box set. We're going to have fine number 15. Believe me, I didn't think I'd be saying that number a couple of rows of 10 rolls back because we weren't getting much of anything. 1948, though. We have not had a 48. A 46, and we've had some 49s, definitely. Pretty big wear there. But, about half the hair details are there. I would suspect Philly or D. I would not think of San Francisco, but I've been wrong before. San Francisco, by the way, would have been a semi-key date. We did not get that. Not in bad shape. And that is the end of that roll. We are on to 44 next. Roll 45 has been laid out. As you can see, we've been checking the first part. We got a nice brown and red 1940. Not a whole lot of detail there, but I could see pretty much any mint mark being there. And I actually think that's an S. Unbelievable, it is an S. I really wasn't expecting an S there, though, dude. So once again, we don't get the mint cycle because that should have been a D, but it's an S. Unbelievable. That is the 16th fine. Man, we're getting close to 20, which I didn't think we were even going to come anywhere near. Plus, we got a 39D. So, onward we go. One roll left. Roll 49. And we do have a nice 1948 showing up to the party. I'm thinking either a Denver or a Philly for this one. Philly it would be. It definitely has been the Philly, for the most part, Philly nickels here. That is roll, or that is number 16 in the fines. I must have miscounted somehow, but anyway. We got one more roll, well, plus this, by the way. I don't see a buffalo nickel on here. 2 streaks are about to go bye-bye. That would be Civil War nickels and buffalo nickels. We'll see what happens. Okay, Batman is in his cave. We are done with this nickel box hunt. And I'm going to have to check things out. I think we're at 17 finds. The 1951 that I found, I think was the first find, somehow got ejected earlier. Not sure why, but anyway, it's back in there. Here it is. Not bad, not great either, but definitely this one coming in late made the box pretty decent. And I like finding things like this, but, key date is a key date. So let's go ahead and go through. And remember, see all this upper part here? Not these ones down here. These are all Phillies. It was a Philly box. One 1939 Philly. We did get 2 Philly 40s and 1 San Francisco. And we were also missing, by the way, another 1940, that brown red one we found late, too. They must have accidentally put that in the discard section, which, we don't need a 1940 anyway. It's a common. 1941 Philly, 1946 Philly, a couple of 48s and a couple of 49 Phillies. We did find a 51 Philly and a 54 Philly. And these are all Denvers. This one should be right here. I think it's it's a 55. 55D, a couple of 58Ds and a 59D. We talked about, it's hard to tell whether these things are gold plated or not, but it's more miscellaneous than anything else. Don't know what's going on with this one. I showed it to you all earlier. I find these from time to time. In fact, I think I found one of these a couple of boxes ago. I don't know if I showed it to you. There's a shiny one there. So cool finds here. Definitely the proof nickel. It is a 97S. We've got another, and that of course is not going to work. We have got another Singapore 20 center. This is a year earlier than the 80 cent we found a couple of boxes ago. And then right in the box, this beauty came in. It's not in the greatest conditions, by the way, but it's in nice condition. It's got a few rim dings, by the way. As the thing focuses on my finger instead of the coin. And that is Denver. Very cool. That is a key date. So there it is. We're going to, of course, check for varieties, and then we'll take a look at collection books. So I took a look at all we had, and no varieties are to be found. So since we had a couple of streaks broken, the Civil War nickels and the Buffalo nickels, unfortunately, no reason, well, at least to get the Buffalo nickel collection book out. But here we have our primary. And as you can see, remember we just was the last hunt. Got a 44D in there. We had lots of Civil War nickels in that one. 7 if I remember right. Well, here's that 1939, as you can see, that we found in here late, which was very, very cool of this key date to come out. There is the D. You can see the mint. I think it's the second least. Although I would say the 38S is the one that still confounds me. But this is going to be the third one I've ever found. And just in time. And there we are, folks. And you know what? It's not as bad a shape as I thought it was. So I would say it's decent. Not AU, probably below XF if it is XF. But there it is, folks. 2 more holes left. I didn't think I'd even sniff filling another book out this year, but I think there's a chance. These don't come by, that's for sure. The 38s never come by very often, but there's a better chance than there was the last two box hunts ago when there was 4 spots. So hey, I'm not expecting the next nickel box to have a 38D or a 38S, by the way. So anyway, very cool. We are definitely making movement with that, and that's always cool. That's the cool thing about Jefferson nickel hunts, or nickel box hunts in general, is that you got a pretty good chance of filling lots of stuff. We're done. This is going to be a long one. I'm sure it's probably going to be near the 50-minute mark, which I know is pretty long. Anybody who watches all of it, parts of it, that's awesome. I appreciate it. If you don't watch it, you don't watch it. I get it. That's why I make shorts too. And of course, when I make long form videos, I make them really long. Well, I make shorts very long too. It's not in my nature to be I don't have brevity in my nature, it looks like. That's unfortunate, really. Anyway, we'll see you next time out. Have a great weekend, and whenever you do hear about this or see it or listen to it. Everybody be safe out there, folks. Cheers to everybody.